Hey y'all, this is my second attempt to film this video. I filmed it this morning and for some reason my whole camera was not even focusing, and maybe that was in the Lord's mercy so that I could get through it without so many tears. Maybe that's why. Had to grab my tissue. First, let me say I'm really sorry that I did not get a video last week to you. I know I promised a video on the growth book and I still have it, and I still want to do it, but something really traumatic happened and unexpected, and so I needed last week to grieve. If you have not been following me for a really long time, then you may not know of Fat Baby Howard, who was my black kitty. And when I was doing videos for Patreon and for when I first started filming, this was the only cat that I had, and we got really close when I lived in the apartment because he was always in my studio. That was his favorite place to be, was in my studio. He would always lay in there and he'd always be right by my side when I was journaling and I was filming, and I'd often pop him up to show him to people, and Fat Baby Howard was the best. And so he was a part of my life, a part of YouTube for a while. Recently, when we moved here, he found new spots to lay down, and so he wasn't so close. But every night still, there's two things without fail that he would do, and that was squeak at me in the morning for his food, and he would lay on my lap every night or right by me during my journaling time. Sometimes he would actually lay on my Bible, like when I was trying to have quiet time, he'd come up and just like right smack dab in the middle of my Bible, and I couldn't read anymore. I have lots of pictures of him doing that too, but he's gone now. He's passed, and it happened really fast. See, I think this is good that I did this one time before because I'm not crying near as bad. I've talked about it a little bit on my Instagram, on a post, and a little bit on stories, but I've never like face-to-face shared with you what happened. About a week before he passed, not even a week, maybe 5 days, I noticed that he was wheezing a little bit, and not bad, nothing like out of the ordinary. Sometimes he would have like respiratory stuff, like especially during the spring when it's kind of like really cold and then warm and then cold and then warm, like in Texas. And for him, I thought maybe he just had a little respiratory something, a little bit of maybe some drainage, because like the heat would go one day and the air would go the next day back to the heat, that kind of thing. So I wasn't really worried about it. That's nothing uncommon for Howard to do throughout his life, and I just watch him and then take care of him and all that. Wednesday, I noticed he had a lot more labored breathing, like Tuesday and Wednesday. And then Wednesday night, we had, David has a YouTube channel, my husband has a YouTube channel as well, and he had a subscriber that was in town and had joined us for the House of Prayer, and we invited him over for tea just to get to know him and say hi and everything. We like to connect with our subscribers when we can, and he came over, and during that conversation over tea, Howard was sitting under at the mat at the sink, and he was like really having a hard time breathing and like kind of coughing and gagging, and I was like, Dave, I gotta take him in. Like, something's not right. Something's not right with Howard. And I noticed too, as I was thinking about it, that he had not really eaten his food that day, which is like, that never happens. It never happens. Like, Howard always eats his food. And that's why he had a name, Fat Baby Howard. So I figured because he wasn't eating and I didn't see him drink much, I was like, I should take him in. Now, to make that decision to take my cat into the vet is a huge decision, because if you also have seen some of my stories, Howard hates to travel. He hates going in a carrier, in the car, anything like that. He gets so worked up about it, and he'll start panting, drooling, he'll poop, he'll puke. When he had a voice, he would groan. Maybe that's how he lost his voice, was the last time he came here to the house in his carrier. It's bad. And so anytime I have to make that decision, it's like a major decision. I don't do it for every little thing. I do it for his vaccination and rabies. And if he has something bad, he's got to get, I don't even get him yearly checked up. Maybe I should have, but it's just such a production. He's so dramatic about him traveling. So this was a serious thing that I needed to take him in. And so I took him in 2 Thursdays ago. When I got there, he was not doing well. He was really having a hard time breathing. And they immediately got him back, and they put us in a private room, and the vet came, and his face was just like so serious, and he said, I need you to know that this is critical, that he could pass at any moment. Laying him out for an x-ray could put him in cardiac arrest. And I was not expecting all that. I was not expecting that any moment he could pass. I didn't realize it was that bad, and I was like, okay. They got us the bill for what it would be to triage him and everything, and it was massive. I feel so bad for people who have to say goodbye to their pets early because they can't afford to treat them, or they don't have pet insurance or whatever. I was freaking out a bit. I didn't know what to do. I'm a very logical person, and I like to weigh things out. I don't like making decisions when I'm emotional, especially high emotions. And so I called my husband to see, can you please help me? Like, what do I do? And David would have told me to have him euthanized immediately. That's what he said he would have done. But he wasn't available. He was not answering his phone. His phone was on Do Not Disturb because he was in some sort of Zoom meeting with some ministry or something. And, or somebody does Bibles. I can't remember, but he was not available. And I just said to the vet, I said, is there any way we can just do the x-ray just to see what's going on? That was really expensive, but I was willing to pay that just to have a more informed decision on what to do, because I don't want him to suffer, obviously, but also if we can fix him, then I wanted to try. They said they could do that. And then shortly when they were going back, shortly after, a lady came back and said, just wanted to ask if he does go, if he fails, like, and we're starting to lose him, do you want us to resuscitate and try to bring him back, or do you want us to DNR? And I was like, just DNR, you know, like if he's like that bad, then it was hard. I did make that decision kind of quickly, but I had to. It's like I hate being put in those circumstances where I have to make decisions like that so quick. It's exhausting. It is exhausting for me. So they went and got his x-rays. It was a while. Put him back in the oxygen. I waited forever, and got the x-rays back, and the vet came back and he said, well, of all the outcomes it could be, this is the most hopeful and treatable, I feel like, for you, like as far as cost and everything. And I said, okay. And he said, there's no masses around his heart and lungs. His heart is not enlarged. There's no fluid around his heart and lungs. This looks like a really bad asthma attack. And I was like, asthma? Like, I didn't realize that cats could have asthma. And he said, it's not that your house is dirty, but I would suggest getting some air purifiers for your home. And I didn't take offense to that, because my house isn't dirty. Like, my house is cluttered. There's stuff, but it's not dirty. Like, I clean around my stuff, you know? There's a difference between, you can have a non-cluttered house that's nasty, and you can have a cluttered house that's really clean, you know, like my baseboard. Well, I don't have baseboards on most of my house, but where we do have baseboards, if I see just a little bit of dust, I'm like, I gotta clean it, you know. I was not offended at that. And also too, we just moved to, like, well, I say just, about a year ago in June will be a year, we moved to an old house, and the people who lived in this house smoked for 37 years. So there was smoke smell everywhere. I had to TSP the walls, prime the walls, paint the walls, prime the ceilings, paint the ceilings, rip up carpet, take down ceiling. Like, we did so much to this house to get it so it didn't smell so horribly smoky. And then just recently, about last fall, we put all the floors into all the rest of the house. And so I know that there's been some stuff, you know, wafted up in the air, and I figured, you know, well, maybe my house isn't dirty, but there has been renovations, and maybe that's triggering this in Howard. And so I was like, okay, what do we need to do? And so he injected Howard with like some steroids and an antibiotic, and he gave him an albuterol hit, because that's supposed to be like an emergency type inhaler. And he gave me a prescription for Flovent, which is a brand name, $200. Oh, and it had to have this like kitty cat adapter mask on it. And I had prednisone that was oral, and then I had to get another one, like special compounded at a pharmacy. They made it tuna flavored for him, which I thought was really sweet. All this stuff I had to do for Howard. Went out and got a purifier. When I brought him home, he was open mouth panting. wanting breath, and because he didn't like the car ride. And I was like, I gotta go get a purifier. I'm just freaking out that my house has just crap all in it. And so I went to Target and got like a germ fighter purifier for our room, stuck him in our room, and it looked like he was actually getting some rest. He was kind of calmed down, still labored breathing. It wasn't like calm breathing, it was still labor, but not open mouth, and it looked like he was getting some rest. And it was at that time that I gave everyone the update, and I showed the Howard sticker that I was working on, because I'd already shared that. I think y'all saw on my little journal flip through that I was debating making a Howard sticker. And so I decided to go ahead and do that just to help with the bills, because it was massive. It was massive. He was fine. Thursday and Friday he was like still breathing really hard, but it seemed like he might be getting better. He wasn't gagging. I was giving him his medicines on time. I was giving him everything. I hated having to give him his medicines because he could barely breathe, and it seemed like he would choke, but he would take it like a champ because he's just so sweet. And he on Saturday, I have a really busy day because it's our big service time, and I probably shouldn't have gone to House of Prayer. I wasn't scheduled to do worship or anything. You know how like you have so much stress of how to make those decisions, like super quick decisions, and then the stress of like trying to take care of your sweet baby, your fur baby that's not, doing well. You just don't want to deal with it. So I hid in the sound booth. I hid in the sound booth the whole service. I did not want to be seen. It was so bad, y'all. There's this Etsy seller that makes these vests for dogs that say, "Please give me space." And I was joking with my friends. I was like, I need a human vest that says, "Please give me space." Because I felt like I was either going to just start crying in front of people or yell at somebody. Like that's where my mind was. It was not good. Friday, I had a bad, like mentally bad in here. It was just so weak here. And I think it was because Thursday I had a really low emotion thing and a really high emotion thing happen at the same time, where I got to see some friends that I didn't get to see in a long time. So it was just crazy. I was hiding in the sound booth, and I got home. I had a friend that I hadn't seen in a very long time that really pours into me. I invited her over for tea. Howard was not doing well. He was breathing really bad. He was hiding in the bathroom, and the kitty mask finally came in. I said, do you mind if I try to give him his inhaler, because I've been waiting for this mask and I haven't been giving him his inhaler. Just that evening I didn't, because I was at the prayer house. And she said sure. And so put the mask on the thing, and then I go put it on his face, and he seemed like, what is this, and this is where I have to really be like careful not to go down a really dark path in my head that would blame myself for killing my cat. Maybe I could have maybe introduced him to it better, but I was just so desperate to get this medicine in his lungs. And so I didn't force his head in there or anything, but I was just like, come on baby, can you keep this on and everything, and press the button and everything. And the cool thing about the mask was that you can press it away so they don't startle, and then it's in the chamber. And so I'm just gently trying to put it on his mouth, but his breathing was so shallow that there's a vent that when they suck, and I tested it and it worked for me even with the slightest breath, but his breath was so weak he couldn't even get the vet to let the medicine in his lungs. And so I stopped and then he started open mouth panting again. And so I stopped. I was like, I'm not gonna do this. And he started walking away, and really it's like he was on his back and stretching out, like he was really struggling to get more air. He kept walking away. You know how cats where they want to die, they just walk away somewhere quiet and silent and alone, and they go die. And that's kind of the behavior that he was displaying, just let me go, like he was just kept walking away from me to these corners to be. And so that was really hard to see. And even Diane, my friend, was crying. She's like, this is really sad. I'm like, I know, I don't know what to do. After she left, I had Howard come back in here. I put him back in here on a towel, and I stayed with him till 4 a.m. in the morning. I'm sorry. it'll seem like he's getting better, and then he'll do that and he'll walk off like he just wants to go die. David says I need to get some rest. I have to lead worship tomorrow and I'm not doing well mentally. So please pray. I knew that if he wasn't better in the morning, then I was gonna have to make that horrific decision. All night I just told him how much I loved him and how much so many people loved him from like around the world. People were praying for him. I thanked him a lot for the years that he gave us, for bringing me so much comfort and love. Went to bed at like 4 something and then woke up every hour to check on him and he wasn't better. And then in the morning, it was around like 8:30 or so, he was the same. By this time, Howard hadn't drank anything besides the little bit of liquid in the medicine in 4 days. So he was dehydrating and he was not eating, right? So it was like five days that he hadn't eaten, and I knew that I had to take him in. And so Sunday, March 8th, I had to say goodbye to Howard. I was there up until the very end with him, and again it happened really fast because of his breathing. I did not put him in a carrier. I had a bed with a towel, and he was so weak. He was just gasping for air, and we got there, his tongue was blue, and they got him back real fast and got a catheter in him. It's so fast, it happened so fast, but looking back, I think the reason they were so quick to get it all done, I wasn't really ready for them to put the medicine in, and because he was suffering, they knew he was bad off. It was quick, it was real quick. He barely got any of the stuff in him and he was gone. It was really strange to see him there, not gasping and fighting for every breath. There was the tiniest bit of comfort knowing that he wasn't struggling anymore. It's a hard decision to have to do, and the vet technician was so sweet to me, and she gave me hugs and she said, "You did the right thing. If this was my baby, whether 2 months old or 20 years old, at this stage, this was the right thing to do." And I'm like, but why didn't he get better? I did everything they told me to do. I bought everything they told me to buy, trying to get him better. I don't know, I almost feel like they should have taken an x-ray of this, because what it sounded like, it was like something was like his closing in slowly. I don't know what happened. I still don't know really what happened, and I think I'm going through the anger part of grieving a bit, because I'm like so angry that I feel like I got a wrong diagnosis, but I don't know how or why, but he's not suffering anymore. So it's been really hard. I miss him a bunch. Count Zinzendorf has been extraordinarily cuddly. He's never been this cuddly. Even today when I was going to edit the video that I thought was good, he's laying across my arm on my desk. I can't do anything because he's just laying there and purring. Howard wasn't super needy, but he was super loving when he the times he had a schedule with me, you know. And Count never had anything with me. Maybe 4 times. I could count 4 times in the time that I've owned him where he ever wanted to pay any attention to me. He's funny, he's super funny, but he was never needy or cuddly, and that was okay, because I still love him to pieces, and I'm not mad that he's not cuddly, but just I think either he's grieving or he knows, or Howard gave him a heads up to take care of me. I don't know, but anyway, I felt it was an important part of my healing process. I know this is long, but an important part of my healing process to share with you, because I had shared Howard a lot in the past, and a lot of people knew about him. I did art pieces of him. He had the Howard with the antlers and stuff, and I was already going towards that sticker idea, because it was a pretty sticker idea. And so what I did was make a journal a little journal card bundle in memory of fat baby Howard. And I figured it was good for me to create. I sobbed. This is literally, on this art piece, is a tear. That's a tear that I put Shadow Violet in, because I was sobbing making this, but it was so good for me to do. And I thought it would be good for the people that like black kitties or that loved Howard enough to get something they can memorialize. And already I've been seeing some journal pages, and it just touches my heart that so many people loved him. And also, this is to help with the over $1,500 that we weren't expecting to have to pay. And so many of you from my Instagram stories have already purchased a bundle, and thank you so much. So the other thing that I'm doing along with just helping out with the bills is I really want to help out this rescue here in San Antonio, and I think it's Texas. There's around Texas too, but it's called Basic Black Rescue, and it is a organization that intakes black kitties and black dogs, because a lot of times they're hard to adopt out, and so there's a lot of fostering for them with this organization. And also there's certain times of the year where black animals are at higher risk for basically vile things done to them, sacrificial witchcrafty stuff. And so a lot of people would not like to think that's true, but sadly it is true. But this organization helps protect them and helps them get placed into loving homes. And I want to make a generous donation to them in Howard's honor, because I guess I just have a soft spot in my heart for black kitties. So this bundle, I have this available on my Etsy, and I'm going to show y'all close up. And it's an art piece that I did, and some journal cards and a sticker. And I do have stickers available separately if you'd like to order more, because I'm sticking them everywhere. I've stuck it on my guitar case. Sunday I led in Gonzales, Texas, and it was raining, and it's like completely, it's vinyl. It's waterproof. You can stick it on a water bottle. You could stick it anywhere where there's going to be water, because it's waterproof. So I went with a different manufacturer this time, because I'm not cutting my own stickers anymore. I just can't do it. So I'm going to just switch over now and show y'all the bundle. And thank you so much for hearing my story and for listening and for being so gentle. All the people who have given me such beautiful prayers and thoughts and messages. I'm so thankful for you. A lot of people don't get it, like when these animal folks like grieve their animals, but I know a lot of you will get it, and I just thank you for being here, and I will resume my normal filming next week. So I'm going to go switch over to show you the bundle now. So this is my little bundle. It is an original piece of work that I did. Hold on. I did this piece of artwork for Howard, and it's an abstract, but I used like a palette knife. No, I don't think it was this one. It's a smaller one. But I literally did this with a palette knife. And so I thought that was pretty cool. No brushes. So I had this scanned and made into a 4x6 journal card. And I have a little note on the back for y'all. And then I have this package of journal cards and a Fat Baby Howard sticker, and the stickers are available separately too. So this is a sticker, and it comes from a photo of him when he was a kitten. So he wasn't too fat here. I do have another like just like this of him as a Fat Baby Howard, like when he got fatter, and I'm thinking about maybe doing the fat one too. I'm not sure. It depends. But anyway, I went ahead and opened this one to show you his stuff. So these are the photos. I love taking pictures, and he was a super fun cat to take photos of. But this was in the new house. He would like to sleep on my bed. This is him as a kitten. So cute. I got him when he was 2 weeks old because his mom got run over, and I bottle fed him until weaned. But because I bottle fed him probably a little too long because I thought it was cute, he would always suckle on our blankets. So his like nursing instinct did not leave. So if you found a wet blanket, it's because Howard suckled on it. But this is the picture that the sticker came from. He loved to be in windows. This is a young picture of him. I think he was not a year yet in that one. This is when he became to me, fat baby Howard, because he had, look at that belly. He'd always steal the dog bed. This is another window picture. An artist in our city made a oil painting and won a competition with this using my picture. The microphone was going ham. So anyway, that's kind of cool. Another window pic. I like that one. I liked the shadows. And then this is the picture that guards my passwords on my website. If you buy a class and you go in to log in, it says Howard guards this area. Tell him the password. So I had to use that one. There's the dog bed again. I love yellow. And then this one I love because this is my studio in the apartment, and he would get up on my craft table here and would look out the window. And so I wanted some art supplies around him for the journal cards. And then this is like one of my all-time favorite pictures of him, just taken with my phone, and him being cute. So those are the journal cards for him, and they're on as a pre-order right now. And I'll probably stop the pre-order when I see things slowing. Well, it's kind of slowed down now. I had done an announcement on my Instagram stories, and I had so much support just from the Instagram stories. And so I'm hoping that I can finish and really pay everything off and give a great donation to that rescue that I want to do. So, yeah, that's what the bundle comes with. And this is a nice 130 pound. Oh, also the story of this paw. I have to tell you the story of this paw. Let me go see if I can find the painting. Yay, I found it. All right, I'm gonna have to back up here. This is an oil painting that I did a while back. I don't even know when, but I had it drying out on my table, and Howard walked across my painting and he got his little paw print perfectly on my painting. And I think I remember, even when it happened, normally I get upset about stuff like this, but I remember not being upset. I don't think. I thought, I was like, well, maybe I can just sell it as Howard's masterpiece, you know? So what I did, that's his paw print, and I isolated it. So I made the sticker out of his paw print to go on the bag. And then on every one of his cards, he has his mark. So I thought that was cool. And it also helps you with these ones that where he's all like sprawled out on the bed. If you're wondering which way it goes, I guess you can go any way you want, but it'll be on the bottom right, so you can see kind of which way it goes. But anyway, that's that. Thank you all for spending your time with me today and letting me get that out. It's been real tough, and I am better this week. I think I'll be even more better now that I've made this video and kind of, done that part, because again, he was a part of my YouTube for some time, and I'm kind of dealing with every part. I will be back next week, I promise, for some other videos, the growth book and a Planner Fest announcement. I'm really excited about Planner Fest. I love you all so much. Thank you again for hanging out with me. Y'all are awesome. Thank you for loving me so well and loving my Howard so well. So I will talk to y'all later. Love you. Bye.